Hi. So in this episode, we're going to talk about component. We're going to make sure that the components are actually pretty clean, and then I have a little trick here that I'm going to show you about the way you can handle state in a cleaner way, right? So let's see how we go about it. So let me first move outside of the window here. Yeah, here, no, left, no. Let's go back here. Boom, good. Now, component. What do we have? If we look at the component folder, we have, oh, my window is open. Bam! Okay, look, we're not gonna cut that part because it's funny. So look at this. Now we have the component folder right here. And what do we have in the component folder? Quite a lot of things. And if I look at the index.js, we only exporting product and layout. So in the previous episode, we, for example, product, it was exported as default, and I explained that you could use a name export. It's pretty good to make your code easily maintainable and so on and so forth. And but we didn't do that for every single component right there. So what we're going to do is first I'll make sure that every component is well aligned with that same approach. So if we start with the auth, the only thing we just need to do here for now is just to put that default export here, that name export right there, and I'm gonna come back to this component a little bit later, right? So let's do that with every single other component. So layout, I think it was done already. So we see it here with layout. Product we imported, and then right here we have the model. So model is using the default export already in line like this. So what I'm going to do is to make sure that the app is still working, I'm just going to do an export default at the bottom, so we have both things still working. So, and then we also had product forms, right? So product form, same thing. We're gonna just quickly put it this way, right? So other things that we can quickly remove here are things like React at the top, and we go to product. We saw that a little bit to the inside the product component as well. We have React here, it's not needed. We go to layout, and then in layout here also at the top, we don't need that part. And now here we actually you see these two lines, auth and model, so we can kind of clean that up because we export them as name export right there. So the way we do it is first we go to that index component, and we're going to add the other things. So like model, we have what else, product. So we have product, models, and then if I go inside product, I'm going to see that product forms is also in there, right? So that's the way I create that shortcut. And now I can go back to layout, for example. So in layout, I can now have this. I know that layout and auth are coming from the same thing here. So what I could do is remove this and basically say from there I want to get the auth and the model. So let me just put the from, so we're going to see it working here. So auth, what are we getting it? Auth and model. So we're not getting the help as I expected. It's because layout is in it's in a folder. So what we gotta do here is just go back. So let me remove that and show you how you get powerful help with that. So I will go right away at the bottom, and I need auth here, and see, just enter auth this way. It is looking for the wrong auth right there. So let me import that from. So we have it at the index, so we can basically say auth over here, and what was the other one? let's see what we have. Model model right there, right? So once we do that, actually I don't even need that slash there, because it's already at the right place, right? So once we do that, we see clearly that our component is still working really well, but we're getting to a place where it's actually easy to handle our code over time. Okay, so now we've done a little bit the component, making sure that we use the index shortcut so that they're easily accessible directly via the component folder, right? So now from here we should have all the component completely aligned the way they should be. So we see model here is not using the same pattern. So I like the pattern of having a folder and then the index there, but sometimes it can also become really difficult to maintain over time. However, here we actually going to go with that and then make sure that here instead of model, I'm just calling that index, but it doesn't like it because there is already another one. And then here, what I'm going to do is to make sure that I just call that index right here. Now, if we look at the index the index component, it says model, but we don't need to do that because we've put that inside an index file right there. So let me make sure that it understands what we're doing. So we see that here that's not compiling anymore. So where do we need to go? We just gotta go inside the model right there. So this one we're exporting it. So and then this one is being exported there. So I think it's still complaining about the name here, and indeed I just need to put that index right there and it should be working as well. So it becomes really consistent, right? We have the auth, layout, product, and then if you go inside product, there is this idea of like you have the product, but you have a product forms and so on and so forth. It's not a bad idea, by the way. I think you could start saying like high-level component folder is product, and then inside product you're gonna have different level right there, but it makes it product focus, right? In this case, we're not gonna really have to change that. I think it should be fine, really. So let's do some more drastic changes right there. But before that, we're gonna do something you should be doing often. So it's to commit. So what do we have here? We're just gonna put it in a branch here, and then say component refactor. I'm just gonna call it like that. Add everything. And then make sure that refactored component with shortcut, index shortcut, right? So just index shortcut right there. Oh, I just saw that in the page, so admin page, we also have the layout that is brought like this. We don't need that. We don't need this, and we still need to. So this one we kind of I'm just gonna move it a little bit here. You see it here. It just goes product, product, product. You don't need to do that. You just do this, and once you do that, you can just say product forms, and this page should still be working properly, right? So that's basically cleaning up the admin page right there. So let's look at what we still have at the component level before we go and trying to clean up inside the component directly, right? So we have the auth was good, layout was okay, model, product, and we should be good right there. Now let's quickly recommit that part. Remove. So let's call it like removed dead code and fixed import in admin page. Right. So now what are we going to do next is we're going to take the time of like cleaning up a little bit the state, and by doing so we kind of cleaning up also the component from the inside. So let's start, for example, with the auth component. What do we have in the auth component? The auth component, what it does, it's basically, yeah, it's if you look at it right here, if you log in, oh, okay, something is not working anymore, right? So that is actually the reason you want to have testing in your app, so you can actually like have a pretty good handle of that. But it's really not important here. We're going to add that in a next, is one of the next episode, right? So don't worry too much here. But you see here, I have something broken, and it's clearly an import issue. So what is it? We can look at it. It says check the render method of layout. So somewhere layout is being used, but we don't see really where the problem is. So so it says inside, which file is it? But let's look at it. Check the render method layout. So it's clearly an issue with import export, right? So where is that? Where could be the issue? So let's start with the layout right there. On the layout part, it seems like these two, they're not really working really well. So let's look at it. So if I go here, I said index, which I shouldn't say really. I shouldn't do that, and it should still work. So if I log in here, I still have that issue. So that's not really the issue. And by the way, let's see again. Auth. So something is not working. I think it's clearly here the issue, but something is not working really well here. So let's see what we have. We're inside the layout, and we need the auth, and then we need the product right there, right? So this here should not be really an issue. So if I say auth, so that is already one thing. And how about auth here? So here I have it working. And how about a model? Go here and then say model, and this one, if I reload it and then do this, you see it showing. So yeah, the issue is clearly right here. And so let's see why we are not able to have it fixed right here. So index, and model is over there. So, and then when I go inside that one over here, I should be able to see that the model is clearly imported here. And let's see model, by the way. We're doing an export function right there for model, and then we're doing a default at the bottom. So this should work properly. And then the model is pretty okay. So the layout level, I don't see why that is not working really. But let's see. Let me try one last thing here. Is we do this, and what about, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna try something completely stupid here. Okay, if this seems to work, so if I do that, that is working, but technically I shouldn't, I shouldn't, this is not needed. So if I go back here and then do model, I see model this time right now. Not sure what happened there, but that's where we were. And then if I log out and log in again, it still comes back. Let's see, doing that, right? So reload that page, log out, log in, and then we still have that problem. But then if I put the auth here, remove that one. Okay, so model here, we're going to do the same thing. We log out and then log in. We see that's working. So I'm missing something fundamental there. And let's try. So it's basically debugging session right now. We're gonna see if we having it right. Right, this is working. And if I do this, it should also work properly. So, oh, it seems like indeed the problem is inside out. Where is out? Okay. So I think we kind of isolated the problem. So we have that out is being exported as a right here as a default export, and then here if we look at the yeah, let's see what we have. Yeah, this is all right, and then we go inside that index, and are we export? Oh, clearly we're not exporting it, and that makes completely sense. That was basically the issue. That was a tricky one. So let me make sure that I show you again what happened here. So if we go into the layout, I was trying to use that index shortcut to basically get and the out and the model from the same line, right? So if I do that, this should be working. If I log out, I see that this is working properly and I can connect to the thing. But however, the mistake I was making is I didn't import out here, and then the app was basically crashing. So that's it. So this video took a little bit of time, but it's good that you could also see that even with a bit of experience, we can still fall into these little traps, right? So let's wrap up that video, and then we're gonna move back to the next step. So what about the next step? So in the next step, we have this thing called state management, and I'm gonna show you how inside each component we can make sure that the state is well managed and isolated. Because if you go back inside the code over here, you're going to see that, for example, let's talk about, let's see with the odd here. We're going to see that right here, we have the context coming in. So let me quickly show you that here. We have the context, and we have it being used in many places this way. And there are ways to clean that up. So I'm going to see you on the next video. Cheers.